what's up, YouTube? This is your host, King Geo. Welcome to the King Geo Show. So today we're going to talk about just a little bit about what's going on with the student loan. So earlier on this afternoon, the United States Supreme Court decided that they're going to hear about the student loan debt. About, that we all know that President Biden wanted to do, or has put forth, to remove all student loans for those who make $20,000 or less, right? And we all knew this was coming. Me personally, this should have been something that he should have done from the beginning, when he had the House and he had the Senate, so in case it did come back to him. But he didn't. He waited to the last thing so he can get votes. But going back to the United States Senate, so now the student loan debt is, your payment is paused until June. So now the Supreme Court is going to hear arguments on this in February, because 6 Republican states have decided to sue because it said that Joe Biden does not have the power to do so, and that it would take away revenues from their taxes. Now, mind you, these are states that, one, are poor. Number two, their arguments have no basis whatsoever. But being that these two courts, one in Louisiana and the other one, I think, was Texas, those are Republican judges. And even though other Republican judges have voted, have sided with Joe Biden's administration, unfortunately, these two courts have not. There was one individual, two borrowers, who decided to sue because they say they can't pay off their student loan because their student loan is not a direct loan; it's from a third party. So they decided to sue, and some other conservative groups, and some states. Those 6 states: Arizona, New Mexico, South Carolina, but the little small states that are deciding to not let this go through. And at the end, they give you this big thing. Oh, it's going to affect our taxes. If you look at the people that are on student loan in those states, they're not even 2% of the population, not even 1% of the population. So it doesn't, that theory, that doesn't go good. They want to do, people always are saying that Joe Biden's not doing anything. I'm not a big Joe Biden fan, so don't say that I'm on Biden's side. But the man is trying. He has tried. I gotta give him credit, because if you do your study, you see that the GDP is going up, unemployment is down. Yes, inflation is high, but inflation is high everywhere, guys. Inflation went up from 8.2 to 8.3, which not that much. But the reason, you gotta understand, the reason that we don't have the inflation here is supply and demand. We have too much supply, but we have a lot of demands, but we don't have enough suppliers. Not suppliers, we don't have enough drivers. The United States has a shortage of 50,000 truck drivers. And the pandemic, didn't help us out at all. But what happens? A lot of people don't want to go back into the trucking business. And they say, I got something else to do. For whatever reason, we're short. But the ones who are making the money that they don't tell you is corporations. The oil companies made billions of dollars in you pumping gas. And what did they say? They said they was not going to drill anymore. That the money that they was getting, the profits they was getting, was profit sharing. That was going to go to their the stockholders. Then he said, you know what? Okay, let's dump more oil. Let's do more of this, so the people can come to us. No, because they don't care about you. Big corporations are raking in money. Don't blame Biden. Don't blame Trump. I mean, this is something that happens. Look at this weekend with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. On Black Friday, we surpassed last year's record. We did an all-time record for buying on Fridays. An all-time record for buying on Cyber Monday. Billion. I think it was Monday was 5.2 or $5.3 billion that they made, 1% higher than last year. So that tells you people are just spending, but they don't want to spend. Things are expensive. Yes, they are. But my attraction to this on the student loan thing is that you got the McCarthy's, you got the Taylor Green, right? You got all these people who are crying that we should not do the student loan, but yet these same people took out a PPP loan. Google how many senators took out PPP loans, and their PPP loans were forgiven. They will tell you student loans no good, But they jumped at the bandwagon and took out PPP loans, and those were forgiveness. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she had over $200,000 in PPP loans. All right, they all benefited, and they all were forgiven. But the only ones that are crying is the Republicans. Like I said, Biden should have done this in the beginning. It's one of the first things he should have done because he had the House. He had the House. But like all politics, you wait till the last minute so you can get people to vote in. Well, let me do this. So, so now, the people vote, and you don't do that. You came in with an agenda. You have both the House and the Senate. Go for it. Throw it all out there. Yeah, progressives was like 50,000, but you meet halfway. You don't come to an impasse. And anyway, but that's what it is. And then the thing that gets me angry the most is that the things that are supposed just if you're a truly true Republican, you would not vote for Herschel Walker, because the only reason that the Republicans want Herschel Walker there is for the seat. Herschel Walker is not going to do anything for the Senate. Herschel Walker can't even speak 2 words correctly. What do you think he's going to put? He's going to put an idea? No, he's only there because they want to serve him, because they want him to, because they thought that he was going to break the tie, and he was going to, he was going to lead that. He was going to catapult the Republicans to have more seats in the Senate, and it hasn't happened. Now he's going against a pastor, and then anything he says is incoherent. He makes no sense. He's not there for the people. You can't put a rich man. A rich man would never serve you. Remember that. And he's a rich man. He would never serve you. He doesn't even pay child support. He doesn't even spend time with his kids. What makes you think he's going to be a good senator? He doesn't. And I'm glad that Dr. Oz lost. Another rich man that doesn't belong in politics. Okay? So the loan, the student loan, is going to be paused until June 30th. In February, it says today, in February, the courts, the U.S. Supreme Court will take arguments on it. We'll see what happens. To me, I did my math, and it doesn't put a big hit on our budget. It really doesn't, to forgive those loans. You're gonna have Republicans, CPAs. So you all know that's not true. But if you look at an independent study that it was done, it's not gonna nudge us. We have $13 trillion, $40 trillion of debt. This is not going to do anything for us if we forgive these loans. If we forgive these loans, it's even better, because you will go under the assumption that by forgiving these loans, these people they can buy a car. Now they can buy a home, because they're paying a student loan. I'm not saying, what? People took out the loans, they should pay for it. But think about it. On a student loan, we have $1.3 trillion. That's never going to get paid. That's never ever going to get paid. It's just going to go cycle like this, like this, like this. And, people are going to keep on borrowing. They're going to keep on more money adding to it, and that's it. But if you remove those people and you take off their debt, you don't have to worry about that debt. Hopefully that money can go into something into our economy. Plain and simple. Come on, you guys are crying. The Republicans are crying that no money, that's going to put a burden. But yet no one has changed the minimum wage. No one has changed the minimum wage. Not one person has changed minimum wage. Minimum wage still $7.25 an hour. To this day, it was maybe 2 months ago. 3 or 4 months ago, the Republicans declined against burn pits. And I saw a movie today what burn pits do to these soldiers. They call them cancers. They didn't care until a few months ago, maybe a month and a half. Both Republicans and reps decided to do a law on burn pits. It's ridiculous. Something that's been giving you cancer and getting people sick for years. It took this long. I really do want a president that's going to work for the veterans. I really do. Because the veterans are doing nothing. The veterans are having nothing. They come from war, they come from Iran, and they get excited to see a veteran say, I want to kill myself because I don't have the resources to work. I don't have the mental capacity to work. I'm going crazy. And no one in the veterans hospital, and no one in the vets, it's like they take you, they ship you, and then they forget you. After you're done, or they give you a medal. A medal's not going to do anything for a person's mental health. I believe that all veterans should get a house. All these abandoned buildings, yeah, give them a house. Right? They will deserve it. If they fall in combat, they lost something, they can't get nothing, they got PTSD. Give them a house. Make them feel good. But what's the point of going to a service? You dedicate your whole entire life. When you come on, they treat you like crap. That's not the country I know. But things have changed, man. Things have changed. Priorities have changed. Politics is no more. Politics, moolah. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's what it is. Nothing new, nothing old. It's just the way it is. And it will always continue being the same way as long as you people keep voting for the same thing. All right? I cannot fathom how Herschel Walker is still up there with a 49. I don't believe in polls, because polls is, or they ask 100 people, or they ask 1,000 people. They don't ask the majority of Republicans, or they don't ask the majority of Democrats, or they don't ask 10,000 of people. They don't ask 20,000. They ask a small number, and everybody, that polls means nothing. It means nothing. I don't say that to heart anyway, but Georgia's got to do something. You cannot let George walk. You cannot, if you don't want to vote, don't vote. But you cannot vote that man in just because you want to see the Senate. Doesn't matter anyway, because we already got the House. But why put him in? For what? Wait another 2 years, even like what Warnock does. Kick Warnock out and put someone there who does, someone who's going to work for Georgians. Someone's going to work for all of you, no matter if you're the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. It does not matter. You have to stop thinking of Republic. You have to stop thinking about politics, about red and blue. You got to start thinking about you. What this person is going to do for me. And you got to remember, these people may say they're going to do something, but it's up to the House. It's up to Congress. They're the ones that decide if the law passes or not. And then the president or the governor signs it. But the governor can say a lot of things. But I want to do this, I want to do that. But if the House says no, it's no. Plain and simple. That's just plain and simple.